Well, TD Garden remains a very unfriendly place to Ottawa. Some of you may have heard that the Ottawa Senators lost 3-2 to the Boston Bruins in a game where they were probably fortunate to just lose 3-2 to the Boston Bruins. Lineup notes in this one: Matt Murray starts in goal. Anton Forsberg, I believe, was originally scheduled to start. He had a non-COVID related illness. In case you haven't heard, the Sens are going through a big bout of COVID right now. A lot of their guys are out on the protocol. Josh Brown, who did play last night, he has been announced that he is out today. So Nick Holden, Connor Brown, Dylan Gambrell, and Austin Watson are all out on the COVID protocol list. Igor Sokolov makes his NHL debut. Tyler Ennis comes back into the lineup from his illness, which was non-COVID related. And we get to see the season debut of Erik Brannstrom finally. It's too bad it had to take something like this to bring him up. Really, he probably should have been brought up a long time ago. In Ottawa, they get off to a good start in this game because a minute 14 in, the Boston area native Zach Sanford, who also happened to be the birthday boy yesterday, scores his first goal of the season, his first as an Ottawa Senator. Brady Tkachuk gets the assist on that one. He did some good work in front. He sweeps the puck over to Sanford, and he buries it past Jeremy Swayman, who, by the way, was starting in goal for Boston. I probably should have mentioned that. But I thought Ottawa in the first 10 minutes of the first looked very good. They continued on their strong play after they got up 1-0 as well. But then, as they always seem to do, they have this habit of starting off games well. They've been doing this for a long time now this season, for a long stretch of games, except for maybe the Minnesota and Chicago games, where they start off well. Maybe the first full period they play well, or the first 10 minutes like they did yesterday. And then they just seem to have the other team take over all the time. Erik Brannstrom would take a penalty on Charlie Coyle after he was flattened by Coyle. Brannstrom would trip him up going to the net. Not a great penalty by Brannstrom, but fortunately DJ Smith did not bench him after that. It would be really stupid of him to do that at this point. Just accept it, DJ Smith. Brannstrom has to be the future of your team, whether you like him or not. At least you have to give him the opportunity to be the future of your team, not just bury him in the minors as soon as he makes one mistake. So then we go to the second period with Ottawa leading 1-0. They take a penalty, which isn't good because Ottawa has a bad penalty kill and Boston has a good power play. And Brad Marchand, 5'12" in, or Marchand, I don't know, he seems to have his name changed every single year. I think it's Marchand this year, so we'll call him that. But Brad Marchand gets a fortunate bounce. Pasternak takes a shot, it goes in off Marchand, standing at the side of the net, and the game's tied up at 1. McAvoy, who was a very physical presence in this game, also gets an assist on that play too. Just over 5 minutes later, Derek Forbort, yes, you heard that right, Derek Forbort, not Charlie McAvoy, even though he looked like he would be Charlie McAvoy on this play. He's allowed to walk right in. No Ottawa player touches him at all. He walks right in. He goes under the arm of Murray. He shoots it under the arm. It's 2-1 Boston. Charlie Coyle and Taylor Hall get assists on that goal. And people say, oh, Murray, he's not good, he's this, he's that. But every time Gustafsson has maybe a not so great game like he had against Vegas, they all say, oh, they should have helped Gus out more. Well, they should have helped Matt Murray out more as well. I mean, let's be honest. If it wasn't for Matt Murray yesterday, this game could have been 5-6-2 easily. And speaking of guys who are not favorites in Sensland, 13:09 into the second period, Nikita Zaitsev throws a puck on goal, and when you throw the puck on net, good things tend to happen. And that was the case for Zaitsev here as he scores his first of the season, ties the game up at 2. Tyler Ennis and Thomas Chabot get assists on that goal. That's Nikita Zaitsev's first goal on a goalie as an Ottawa Senator, with there being fans in the building. He did have 2 on a goalie last year. But there was no fans in the building. Then shortly after that, David Pasternak absolutely buries Thomas Chabot in the corner. Chabot does a good job of getting back up and sprinting back to the front of the net, but Pasternak's all alone in front. He looks like he has the go-ahead goal on his stick, but Matt Murray absolutely robs him. He gets the stick out. Pasternak probably could not believe that didn't go in. I couldn't believe that didn't go in, especially with a player as dangerous as David Pasternak, left all alone in front with pretty much a wide open net. And then Alex Formenton and Connor Clifton would have a dust up as Formenton went in on goal all alone on a breakaway. Swayman stopped him. Clifton went after Formenton after he went behind the net. Formenton got his stick up. It looked like it caught Clifton in the face. I don't think he meant to do it though. He is quite a bit taller than Clifton. He headed up to kind of protect himself after Clifton went after him. Obviously, Connor Clifton's not going to like that he got hit in the face with a stick, so he goes after Formanton. He really wanted this fight. I don't really think Formanton wanted to fight. But for a guy in Alex Formanton who looked disinterested in getting into a fight, he handled himself pretty well, in my opinion. And then it goes to 4-on-4 after some matching minors to Thomas Chabot and Brad Marchand. And then a minute 20 left in the third period. Patrice Bergeron scores. I don't know, Murray, he looked like he was reading pass on that play. Bergeron sneaks it in on him. It's 3-2 Boston. Pasternak and McAvoy collect assists on that goal. Josh Norris broke his stick on that play, and some people will say, oh, what an unfortunate break for Ottawa. Well, it was also an unfortunate break for Boston too, you could say, as Matt Grzelcyk broke his stick as well. And somehow it was a 2-on-1 down low for Boston, so go figure. We go to the third period, and Ottawa, they had a couple of power plays, couldn't really get a lot going on them. They had a few chances, but all in all, their power play was 0 for 6, and that was ultimately the difference in the game. Boston was 1 for 3 on their power plays. And the Sens pull Matt Murray, trying to do everything they can to tie the game up, I think with about a minute and a half or so left in the third period, but the veteran Boston Bruins would endure, and they would hang on to win this game 3-2. And the Sens, they dropped their 5th straight, and things are not looking good for them. The rebuild looks like it's full steam ahead right now. Now, Igor Sokolov made his NHL debut last night, like I touched on earlier. I thought he looked okay out there. I mean, he obviously didn't get a lot of ice time, so it's kind of hard to judge whether or not he was great or not so great, but I thought he looked good in the little bit of ice time he did get. DJ Smith and the Sens coaching staff really need to find a defensive solution. Their defensive schemes are toast. They're not good at all. They need to make some adjustments and change things up. And I think they need to change the philosophy of how their team is built too. They need to adopt more of a speed and skill game and get away from the physicality, I think. So that's it for this one. Please let me know what you all think in the comment section down below. The Sens' next game is against the Los Angeles Kings on Thursday night in Ottawa. Tomorrow night, Remembrance Day. So like I said, let me know all that and more in the comments down below. Also, please like and subscribe and share this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.